You've been in the gym for months now. You show up, you log your workouts, you track your macros, yet the progress is stalled. Something's not right. You're only a few more bad workouts away from joining the band of losers who blame their genetics. But before you do, let me hit you with this truth that no one is going to tell you, no one's going to say out loud. If you haven't been injured in the gym before, you have not pushed yourself hard enough. Now listen, I'm not saying getting injured is good. I'm not saying go and train extremely recklessly. But what you need to understand is the gains are made very, very close to that red line. The gains are made only when your limits are being pushed to the maximum. Anyone who's serious about building muscle knows this. And they also know that because of this, every once in a while, you do teeter over that edge. You do end up pushing yourself to the point of injury, to the point of, an achy joint or a strained muscle. It happens. It's part of the process. And an intermediate or advanced lifter knows this. They account for it. It's not pretty, but you have to realize it's what happens when you chase that limit, when you push yourself to that red line. If you don't believe me, let's go over some of the counters to this point. So first off, perfect effort. If you think that, I'm lying to you or that this isn't good advice, so do you really believe that you're pushing yourself with perfect effort? Do you really think that time and time again, you've pushed yourself right to the limit, but you haven't gotten injured, but you're still not experiencing growth? What do you think the chances of that are versus the chances of you just pushing yourself nowhere near to hard enough to actually experience growth? I know it sucks, but the reality is your brain is tricking you and you're not pushing yourself hard enough. You're finding the easy option out, because the counter of that, the fact that you think that you're pushing yourself perfectly hard enough without getting injured, is just not true, man. It's just not true. Let's go over another counter to this point, which is RPE 8, or you don't need to train no close to failure, you only need to train to RPE 8. Listen, some of the best bodybuilders, always say, I remember specifically Sam Sulek, one of the more younger bodybuilders of this day and age, but even Sam Sulek himself says that he doesn't really believe in RPE 8, because the thing about RPE 8 is that it's too far away from failure for you to actually realize if you're actually at RPE 8 or not, if you actually have 2 more reps in the tank, or if that's actually 4 reps or 5 reps in the tank. I know it's scientifically proven that RPE 8 is good enough to experience a growth stimulus, but take it from me, someone who's actually built significant amounts of muscle mass, or take it from any of the take it from any other, very competitive bodybuilder who's also built significant amounts of muscle mass. Do they really stop at RPE 8, or do they push themselves to the absolute maximum? I understand that science has told you RPE 8 is okay, but let me tell you personally, most people who think they're training to RPE 8 just are not doing that. Listen, the uncomfortable truth is that growth lives on the edge. Growth lives right at that point of failure. That's where the real muscle is built. The real muscle is built only on those last 1 to 2 reps, those last couple of reps where you're really pushing yourself to the absolute limit. That's where the real muscle is built. That's where you get the separation from a noob and someone who's jacked, from someone who's all right and someone who's fucking ripped. That kind of muscle doesn't come from training safe, RPE 8. That kind of training comes from pushing your limits, pushing hard. And bro, I'm talking about the gym, but it's the truth of life as well. Everything only comes from that last bit, a little bit of effort. That's what makes it worth it. Doing something only to a novel point of effort doesn't really make it worth it. You won't even feel satisfied, even if you did get the reward. The reward comes from the level of effort that you put in. The results come also and in the gym, the results also come from the level of effort that you put in. All right, what not to do. All right, this isn't a green light to go and, train stupid though. This isn't a green light to add, fucking 10% weight onto the bar, or like go chase a PR now, or do some stupid TikTok trend, cringe shit, whatever. What this means is that you take the same way that you're doing, and you need to push yourself for more reps. You need to make that set last longer. You need to hit another couple reps, especially if you're not experiencing growth, especially if your rep count is below 10. You really shouldn't be doing reps. You really shouldn't be training for sets less than 10 reps most of the time. If you're doing a set of 8, try to get to 10 reps. If you're doing a set of 10, try to get to 12 reps. If you're doing 12, try to get a 13th rep, or increase the weight and do as many as you can again. You need to keep the effort high. You need to always push for progress. Obviously, progressive overload is a big factor when it comes to driving effort, because it forces us to hold ourselves accountable. You really need to be fighting for every single rep at the end of the set. If you're not pushing yourself hard enough. You need to really be digging in and fighting for those reps. That's what this message is. It's not about, increasing the weight or doing some dumb shit like TikTok or chasing PRs. No, don't do PRs, don't chase low rep sets, but push the red line, push that limit. That's how hard you need to train. And yeah, I understand it's not, a fun thought, but every once in a while, it's not that bad. You're gonna strain something, you're gonna tweak a joint or whatever. You're gonna be okay. And at the end of the day, you're gonna be better and stronger for it. So yeah, guys, the bottom line is, if you've been going to the gym for a while now, you've not gotten injured, you're not seeing results, the answer is you are not training hard enough. You're lifting, but you're not fighting. You gotta approach that weight, you gotta approach that set with some violence in your mind. You gotta be like, I'm going to destroy this weight. Or you gotta approach it, thinking of something that's going to enable you to push really hard. My last video was about your adversary, how to motivate yourself. So think of something like that. Try to find that motivation, try to find that little extra bit of force, violence, anger, whatever you need to get yourself through that set. Anyways, guys, if this message hit you, if it resonated with you, drop the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Check out my link in the description below if you want further guidance. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.